Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for being here. My name is Jovan Padilla. I've been with Franchise Tax Board for roughly 15 years, for a little about 14, and I've been with VITA almost 3 years. Accompanying me is Tara Swafford. She has been with VITA a lot longer than I have. How long has it been, Tara? I think it's 5 or 6 years.
Actually, we over almost 10 years.
Oh no, I have my
Oh,
coworker
you're
that's here
correct.
helping me out. Yeah.
5 years for me, Yovan.
Yep, five. Okay, thank you, T. So Tara Swapper's going to be helping me out. If there are any questions in the chat or anything like that, and she's also one of our subject matter experts. So if there's anything I can't answer, she's going to have it 100%, or we know where to find it. So that being said, let's get started. All right. So the objectives for today, we're going to be covering California tax law updates, nonconformities with federal versus state, new law changes and other updates, California healthcare mandate, and the FTB VITA support and resources that we have for you. So starting off with California tax law updates. So taxes are due to FTB by April 15th, 2024. FTB does grant a 6-month automatic extension for filing, but it's not for paying the taxes. So the extension due date for filing a return is
이거 레코딩 되고 있으니까 나중에 안 되면.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, it's go ahead. Sorry. Someone
Okay,
asked me
I'm
question.
gonna go ahead and mute you, James.
Sure.
Okay, all right. There we go.
Putting the mute.
All right, thank you. All right. Where was I? Okay, so the extension due date for filing a return is going to be October 15th, 2024. So again, April 15th is when they're if they owe money, that's when that's due. But October 15th is when they have time to that's when they have to file. So they have to file by October 15th. But April 15th is when the money's due. And then if they're outside of the United States, if they're like usually outside of the United States, it automatically grants them a 2-month extension. So they would have to pay their taxes on 6/17 or June 17th, 2024. And their automatic extension. So they can pay by June 17th, but they have to file by December 16th, 2024. All right. Personal exemption credits. California's personal exemption tax credits are $144 for single or head of household. It's $288 for married, filing jointly, or qualifying surviving spouse, and $446 for each dependent. All right, and this year's standard deductions for 2023 are $5,363 for single and $10,726 for joint, head of household, or qualified surviving spouse. For California earned income tax credit, so an income of $30,950, the amount of credit is $1. And at $30,951, the credit amount will be $0. So what happens is it'll just zero out. So last year, 2022's credit amount was $275, $1,843, and $30,037. And this year they all went up. So for no dependents and their max AGI of $30,950, they would have $285. And then it would go up from there with a maximum of 3 or more dependents with $3,529. So everything went up a little bit. They get more money. And the AGI went up. For investment income limits for EITC, it is going to be for federal. It's going to be $11,000 income threshold, and for California, it's going to be $4,525 income threshold. All right, and then renter's tax credit has gone up a little bit. So non-refundable credit is going to be $60 for single and $120 for joint, head of household, and qualifying surviving spouse. And then the AGI limits are going to be $50,746 or less for filing status single, and then $101,492 or less for filing status joint, head of household, and qualifying surviving spouse. All right, so now we're moving into non-conformities, but before we do that, is there any questions on the previous slides? Anything you guys want to ask?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. All right, so this is non-conformities. Again, this is where the state of California does not conform with federal. So these are where there's differences. So California residencies. So full year residents will be taxed on worldwide income. Non-residents will be taxed on California sourced income only. And part year residents will be taxed on worldwide and or California sourced income. And that's whichever's higher. Okay, income not taxed by California is unemployment compensation and paid family leave, Social Security and railroad retirement benefits, state income tax refunds, interest income from U.S. Treasury bills, bonds, and territories, and California lottery winnings. And just some info for finding interest income in the system. You would go into income, interest and dividends, income, and then interest income from 1099 INT, and then you would put the amount in box 3 of the 1099 INT. And then it should also be entered in the box labeled amount of interest on U.S. savings bonds and treasury obligations. So it'll say on there. And then select California for the state. And that's just a little info on that one. And then for California lottery winnings, it's state section. Then you go to subtractions and income, subtractions from income, and then select California lottery winnings, and then enter amount of winnings. And then California lottery losses are not deductible. So income taxed by California would be foreign earned income and foreign Social Security income, interest income from District of Columbia bonds, and interest income from other states' municipal bonds. Alimony. So for 2019 and after, for divorces executed or modified after December 31st, 2018, federal does not require the spouse receiving alimony to include alimony payments as part of his or her gross income. California, though, does not conform to this change and continues to require alimony to be reported as part of the gross income. Alimony paid can be deducted from income on the California return as well. And then for the tax layer path for that, you enter the alimony amount received or paid under the federal section, enter the name and phone number of the person receiving the alimony in the state section. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to personal notices and letters. But again, before we move on, is there any questions on that previous section that I can answer for you guys?
Anybody question? No. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we'll move on. Thank you, everybody. All right, so let's go over some common notices and letters that taxpayers receive from Franchise Tax Board. Again, this is only going to help you guys kind of figure out what to do with taxpayers if they come to you with these letters and not knowing what to do. This is going to give you a little bit of insight of why they're getting these letters. These are the more common ones. So additional documentation required, refund pending, and that's FTB form 4502. So why the taxpayer received this notice? So FTB needs additional information to approve the Cal EITC, Young Child Tax Credit, and or the foster youth child tax credit claimed on the tax return. And then what the taxpayer can do or how you can help them is tell them to send the requested documents listed on the notice by fax or mail at the address listed on the notice. So the notice will have an address on it. It'll tell them where to send it. And any information that the taxpayer needs to send or call or anything like that will be on every notice. I'm just going to put that out there ahead of time. But I'll show that. Notice of tax return change, FTB 5818. So why the taxpayer received this notice? So we changed or corrected, not we, but Franchise Tax Board changed or corrected your tax return during processing. The notice provides explanation of the changes on your return. And then so what the taxpayer would need to do, no need to contact us if they agree with the changes, but be sure to update have them update their records and pay any balance due. And then if they disagree, they will need to contact us at the phone number listed on the notice. Notice of state income tax due, it's FTB 4963. Again, why the taxpayer received the notice, you have a past due balance on your personal income tax. And what the taxpayer would need to do is if they agree, they'll just pay the amount they owe, no need to contact FTB. If they do not agree, they need to gather all of their relevant tax documents and contact us at the number listed on the notice. All right, tax information and document requests. That's FTB 4734D. Why they received the notice. So if their return was selected for review as a security measure to protect against tax-related identity theft. So they need more info before we can approve the refund. And then what the taxpayer would need to do is gather the required items and complete the form FTB 4734D and then send it to us via fax or mail, and then allow 8 weeks for us to respond. And then if they have any questions on any of that, they can call this number 916-845-7088. It should be on the notice. Also, if they get this, what I suggest is just kind of let them know that it's random. Like 98% of the time, it's a random selection that they're just trying to do quality assurance, and they're just picking one out of like a bunch of them. So if they let them know that there's no reason to be scared, they just need to provide the information. And that's it for the forms. Any questions on any of the forms that we covered?
One question. If
Sure.
when I receive the notice from the Franchise Tax Board, can I talk to my tax professional, or can I talk directly to Franchise Tax Board?
So if you do get a notice from Franchise Tax Board, if they're coming to you guys, I would recommend letting them know to call the number on the forms and let them know to talk to Franchise Tax Board. All the numbers on those forms will talk to a representative at FTB and at Franchise Tax Board, and they will have access to the account if they call the numbers.
Okay.
So they'll be able to help them a lot more than any of us can. Even us as the VITA representatives, we don't have access to any accounts. So if they call us, we're not going to be able to help them anyways.
Yeah. And can you talk to through email, not instead of the fax?
If they provided an email, then yes, you can submit through email, and then you should get a representative, chatting back and forth from there. But if not, there's also live chat on Franchise Tax Board's website, ftb.ca.gov. There's a live chat option on there, and they do have live chat where they can go into account specific information. They'll verify your information, and they'll be able to access everything in your account and answer any questions, and it'll be all through chat if you don't want to wait on the phone.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
Go
Good
ahead,
questions.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next area, new law changes and other updates. So Foster Youth Tax Credit, or FYTC, the maximum amount of credit for tax year 2023 is $1,117 per individual. It's a refundable credit. The credit starts to phase out as the earned income exceeds the threshold amount of $25,775, and then it completely phases out at $30,933. So if they make anything under $25,774 and down, then they should be getting the full amount. Once they get anything between $25,775 and $30,932, it starts going down, and anything after 30,933, it's nothing. They won't have anything. The eligibility for a foster youth tax credit is that they were in the foster care placement while 13 years of age or older. They are between the ages of 18 and 25 by the end of the tax year, and they are eligible to claim the Cal EITC in the taxable year of their credit. All right. They also must live in California and not use married filing separate unless had a qualifying child or lived with you or for more than half of the year. So there's a couple of caveats. The 4012 should answer any more detailed information on that. And if you guys have any further questions, honestly, like if you just email us, and I'll give you that information towards the end. If you email us, we'll be able to go into more details on any of these. All right. Young child tax credit expansion. So maximum amount of credit is 1,117 for tax year 2023. The credit starts to phase out again, the same as the other one, 25,775, and then it completely phases out at 30,932. And then for individuals with no earned income, there is a cap of $33,497 for the net losses. So that is the most they're allowed to have loss for them to be able to claim this. Even if they have zero income, they can't have more than this for losses. All right, debt interception. Beginning January 1st, 2024, California law prohibits offsetting delinquent accounts against personal income tax refund of an individual who receives California Earned Income Tax Credit, Young Child Tax Credit, or the Foster Youth Tax Credit. And let's see. Delinquent accounts excluded balance of previous unpaid income taxes amount owed. In other words, if they owe state income tax from a previous year, it will be offset from refunds, regardless that they receive any of the credits. Delinquent accounts includes all non-tax debt except for child support. All right. Any questions on anything we just covered?
Not much. Regarding for the young child tax credit.
Sure.
So do I need an IT number? Is qualified?
So the eligibility for the Cal EIT for the young child tax credit is they must be 18 and older, and with a qualifying child. They must have income of 30,950 or less. They must have a social security number or ITIN for the year of 2020 and later, for the spouse and the children. For them, the spouse and the children, and then they must live in California. And then that last one was not use married filing separate unless they have a qualifying child.
Okay. Yeah. Because federal, they're not allowed to the IT number child.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, this one they do. With young child tax credit, they can use the SSN or the ITIN.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Thank you. California is nicer.
Yeah, I think so.
we try to be. Yeah. All right, good questions. Any other questions?
I don't think so. Go ahead, moving forward.
Thank you so much. All right. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to the California healthcare mandate. And again, it began January 1st, 2020. The minimum essential healthcare coverage is required for all California residents and their dependents. And it's just continuing. Not really much change there. So California individual healthcare mandate, again, it's their penalties. If they don't have a health insurance, the flat amount penalty of $900 per adult, and then $450 per each minor. And then or the percentage of the household income, 2.5% of the gross income amount that exceeds the filing threshold. So it's whichever one of those two is the most. So they're going to take the highest amount if they're not getting health insurance. All right, the FTB 3853 health coverage exemption and individual shared responsibility penalty. So this form is required to be completed on the California return if the taxpayer or any members of the household did not have health care coverage or exemption for all or any part of the year. This form needs to be completed in TaxSlayer under the state section. For a step-by-step instruction on how to complete this form in TaxSlayer, we have a video on the on our website at ftb.ca.gov, and it's video number 11 of the VITA videos that we have. So if you guys are stuck on anything for California healthcare mandate stuff, we have a pretty good video there that tells you all the details. You can also refer to the FTB 3853 instructions for more information on how to fill these out. But we'll move on from this page. And then, so when you're entering the healthcare mandate information for the 3853, is that when you're doing that, you want to do it for each member of the household. So notice that this drop down here has 3 members. So you'll have to click on each one, finish out their information, and then go back and then enter each one. So you'll have to keep doing it for each taxpayer. Fill out the form. And then once you're done, you should have something like this with their names, their codes, and all the information. Like, for example, let's see. Jane Doe looks like she had coverage for the first 3 months, and then she had a 3-month gap, so she had the C there for the coverage gap, and then had coverage again for the rest of the year. And it looks like Jade Indo had coverage for most of the year until June, and then if you look from July to December, there was no coverage. That's what the X's mean. And so you don't have to memorize these. I didn't memorize it. I only know this because of this presentation. But if this is available in the instructions, this page right here. These are the codes for the 3853, and it literally goes through each one. For example, income below the filing threshold, there is no code for that one, but coverage considered unaffordable is code A, and so on and so forth. This is only the first page. It has multiple pages to it. I think it's 2. I think it just goes through all the alphabet. But it's in there on the 3853 instructions pages, so you don't have to guess any codes, and they're all there. All right, so as far as healthcare mandate goes, any questions?
No.
No? All right. All right, then we are going to almost finish up here. We're at the support that we can provide for you guys. So like I mentioned in the healthcare mandate section, we have videos on our website. We just updated them for 2023. There's a total of 13 videos with information on federal and state tax law. The training videos are available now, and then they may be accessed through the training videos area on www.ftb.ca.gov. And again, there's a video number 12 has what's new for tax year 2023. Video number 11 has the healthcare mandate information with steps instructions. So we have a lot of good stuff there to kind of go through if you're like, what did they say about that? And you just need to go back and check. There's that. And then we have, again, more resources on the FTB website. So in the VITA section, so if you go into the FTB website and in the search section up on the top right, you just type in VITA or VITA resources, it'll take you to this page. And on this page, you can see that there's resources for, you can request site training. You can also do, so this training was requested by doing one of these. And if you know anybody else that has any other sites opening up, have them send us a request. You can also order forms. You can order resources for us. You can do for military. Well, you guys don't do that, but there's other sites that do that. And then also the volunteer reference manual is here, the 5130. So you can also check that. And then if you look at the very bottom, it says VITA training videos. That's where you can find them. You can click that. It'll navigate you to YouTube, and then you can see all our videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, and then so more stuff on the website and the FTB website. So this page on our site is where volunteers can check their knowledge for California tax law. You don't need to be certified for California tax law, but some people like to test their knowledge on it. They go in here. You can take a 15-question test. And then once you take the test and pass, you'll get a certificate at the end of it that you can hang up in your office and say, look, I'm California certified, even though I didn't need to be. So you can, let people know that you're awesome. All right. And then these are the hotlines and things that we use to support you guys, the volunteers, the people that are out there on the ground doing all the work. The number that we have for you guys is 800-522-5665. And please put this number down for your own personal use for as far as VITA questions, any questions on California tax laws, TaxSlayer, questions on preparing tax returns, any payments that were made electronically, or any return status. Do you guys want to check the return statuses on stuff that was submitted electronically? Give us a call. We can check all that for you. Email, you can also email us if you prefer. We also like to let people know that if you have a question that you're like, you know what, this is going to be a really long question and it's going to be kind of hard to ask over the phone, send us an email at volunteercoordinator@ftb.ca.gov. That email will give us an opportunity to do more research and get back to you with a more informed information, something a little more detailed than just on the phone. So those are that. And again, please don't give out that number to any taxpayers, because if they use that number, there's less opportunity that we can help you folks, because the phone will be filled up with other callers. All right. And then, so because we don't want to leave the taxpayers out, and they need to have resources as well, the taxpayer can reach out, check their information on their accounts through MyFTB. They can set up their MyFTB account. They can check all their tax returns they've submitted. They can get questions answered for their account, anything like that. That's available on MyFTB account. They can also dial the main franchise tax board 800 number at 800-852-5711. So that's a number for the taxpayers, not for you guys. So that way, if they have any questions about their stuff, they can call that. The chat is also available for not only general chat, but account specific. I think I mentioned that earlier. So that way, if some people aren't comfortable on the phone, you can hit the chat up. And if they don't want to ask specific questions, they can just ask them general questions about stuff. But if they do want information about their account, they can request that, and then the chat person will start asking questions to verify their identity. And then, as always, there's field offices that are available, but they will have to make appointments. And there's a few throughout California. There's not many, unfortunately. So if you're lucky to be near one, that's an option too. But most people just want to do the phone or the MyFTB account. All right. Now then, here is the link for our survey. We like surveys. We like them because it helps us improve. If there was anything we didn't cover today, let us know. If there's anything you're like, you know what, I would have liked to have more information on this thing, let us know. If you feel that I was too fast, went too slow, or just was unable to understand, please put that in there, because you help us grow with your feedback. And without your feedback, we don't know if we're doing a good job. So I'm going to leave that up on the screen. And or actually, since I can't see the chat, hey T, are you able to put that in the chat for them? Tara, I'm sorry, my coworker. She's I'm seeing if she can do that.
I could put it in there. It's just going to take me a second.
Yeah. All right. So again, so this will be in the chat for you guys. That way it'll be saved there, and then that way you can write it down at your leisure. But yeah, please take a moment. You can also do this on your if you have a smartphone, you can log into your to the internet through your smartphone and type this in there and take the survey. It'll adjust to your phone size. And as always, thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you guys for being volunteers. We appreciate you, every single one of you guys. You guys make this community work, and if without you guys, nobody would get their taxes done over there. So that's awesome. Thank you guys so much.